people started to understand, self-care is just adding all of these little 1%ers together, just doing all these little things.
Often we only have gratitude and appreciation when we've experienced something in contrast.
Take note of, this is a beautiful moment. Be present to it. Don't let it just pass you by. If you can string a few of those throughout the day, all of a sudden you've had a good day.
People do get impacted by people a lot. Sometimes people's energy, whether that's the way they're interacting with us or they're, in our space, but we can be really bothered by our interpretation of what's just happened. Come from that compassionate place of something might be going on for them, in their world. Or if the worst case scenario is they're an asshole, I have compassion that you're an asshole. When you're feeling really good, there's certain things that you'll be doing that are keeping you in that momentum, in that space, in that energy, but we don't think to capture what are the things that are actually making a difference.
It was rest even when it's inconvenient to do so. If you choose yourself and choose to rest in that period, it's very inconvenient because you're going to have to figure out, what am I going to do about that urgent thing that I needed to do? But you're choosing yourself. Welcome everyone to the Reconnect Self podcast, the show that helps you ultimately rediscover what brings you joy. My name is Scott. I am your host and a filmmaker, and I am here with my wife Tracey, who is a counsellor of some 20 years, breathwork instructor and certified psychedelic assisted therapist. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good.
We've got Lenny Beneni here.
Got Lenny feeling cozy in my birthday cardigan.
Yeah.
Which I love. It's so comfortable. And you're looking very wintry with your woolly blue sweater.
Yeah, it's freezing here in Perth.
Yeah.
I'm a bit over this winter and the rain and the cold.
I can't remember a winter that's been this wet and rainy and long and cold, but gives you contrast, which it's actually stealing the thunder of one of my tips for today, because I'm going to set this episode up as best I can. We did a 30-day challenge.
Self-care challenge
in July.
Yes.
So started on the 1st, finished on the 30th of July. And basically we had a group of roughly close to 50 people in a WhatsApp group, and you and I would share tips every day.
Yes.
For 30 days. And I thought it would be fun today, because I went through all of these because they were videos. We would post videos daily. And that other people would get involved, and it was fun. It was
nice to see what everyone's doing and what they, putting in place to look after themselves.
Yeah. So I went through all those videos yesterday, and I logged them in a spreadsheet and just put a quick sentence about what each video was about. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea what to call this episode. It might be something like micro moments of joy or pocketfuls of happiness, or
either of those would be good.
Yeah. And what we're going to do to make it fun is you have my list and I have your list, and I'll read one of yours out and you can decide if you want to pass or play.
Looking at your list, I don't think you posted 30 days worth of stuff.
No, I didn't. I
think if you look at mine, it was every single day I did a video.
You did. I definitely had a couple of days off towards the end.
So we might run out at a certain point of the ones on my list that I've got for you.
Well, maybe I have to play more than I pass.
Okay, that's true. That's probably very true.
Yes. Yeah, there was a couple of days at the end of the challenge where I think I was feeling a little bit low and didn't have anything that I felt like sharing that day. So
that was your self-care.
I'm human. My self-care was to take a day off.
Yeah.
And I felt totally fine with that, and I feel like everyone understood that. That was no one had a go at me. So,
no, they still had the post from me, so it was fine.
Exactly. Right, so you get to pass or play.
Okay.
Should we just jump into it?
Jump in, let's go.
All right. Your first one, which was actually a little bit about, because this was actually on the first day you posted this, it's a little bit about what your intention for the month was. Do you remember what it was?
Probably more movement.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It was movement, dancing.
You're getting in my body.
Drumming.
Yep.
getting into your body? Pass or play?
I'll play.
Maybe I'll add a little sound effect in from Family Feud or something.
Like a ding. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us about that.
Well, I think it's good to set intentions in terms of, for me, it was going, what do I want this month to look like that was going to be different than other months? And the reason I set the challenge up in the first place was because in winter I really struggle with the change of routine. Like in the summer I go for my beach walks on my days in between the gym. And then in winter, I kind of do nothing. So I still go to the gym, but on the days I'm not at the gym, I'm kind of just staying in bed that whole time. So I thought, right, if I set myself a challenge of different things I can do, then maybe that will, shift things up a bit. So I also recognised that I'm not very coordinated and I'm not very in terms of rhythm. And so I needed to get back. Musical, yes. And with my breath work, I really need to be rhythmic with my counting and, hitting the beats and things. So my challenge for myself was to dance a bit more, to drum a bit more, to come into my body a bit more.
And did you achieve it?
I probably didn't dance as much as I should. But I think you could attest to the fact that you probably heard a lot of drumming.
I heard a ton of drumming.
And the neighbours could probably.
Heard a ton of drumming.
Yeah.
I did. There is another video somewhere in these 30 videos that you did dance before you had a shower one night. I know that.
I did do these things. It's just that I didn't do it as much as I probably would have hoped for the dancing. I mean, I should have been doing that every day.
Yeah. But you gave it a good crack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So my tip for that is be intentional. It's easy at the beginning of the year to sort of say, I want to be X, Y, and Z. And then by the end of January, you've kind of dropped off the wagon. So maybe even changing it up every month and going, this month I'm focusing on blah, blah, blah. And that way that's your focus for that month.
Yep.
Whether it's stretching before bed, whether it's, like me dancing or drumming or something or other.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Over to you. Let's see what your first one is. Morning routine. Did you said morning routine? Is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
okay.
I was explaining to people.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll play.
Play. Okay.
I mean, I'm going to have to play a lot.
You are going to have to play a lot.
I always struggled with a morning routine for years, if not decades, and I finally found one. So I won't go into this too much, but I quite often would wake up with anxiety. And did that for a number of years. So getting a good morning routine was really important to me. And I'll quickly explain what I do. So I get up, never wake up to an alarm, which is just one of life's little blessings. Immediately get dressed, drink it was a glass of water, now it's got supplements in it. And then take Lenny out straight away. And that's the key.
So you hydrate first?
Yes, I hydrate first because I guess the science behind.
Oh yeah, there's so many good, tips out there saying about you need to hydrate as soon as you wake up because you've just not had anything
10 hours without drinking any fluid.
And usually the first thing you do when you get up is go to the toilet.
Yeah. So I do that. And then, the key for me is just taking the dog for a walk. And the reason I like doing that is it just snaps you out of anything, I find, like just being outside, hearing the birds. So I bring headphones and listen to a podcast, but I don't put the headphones on for the first 5 minutes. And so we live near a park, so there's usually birds and I can hear the birds sing. And it just connects me to nature.
Yeah.
And
you're also getting the sunlight in your eyes for the circadian rhythms.
Yes, I don't wear sunnies. Even in summer, I do not wear sunglasses. Mm-hmm. And I just find that being out in nature, it does something to my brain that just helps me not feel like life is so heavy. Mm-hmm. and in the scheme of things, I am quite little. Like I am just a little dot in this ridiculously huge universe, and there's something about being outside that...
I thought you meant height just then.
Well, people usually see me sitting down. I am not a tall man.
We're the same height.
When people use a half inch when you ask their height, so I say I'm 5'7.5". When anyone mentions half,
they're desperate.
Not tall. Yeah. So I'm 5'7.5".
I don't think there's a half.
Let's not go there. Come on, I want to feel positive about
it. Okay, keep going with your morning routine.
Well, that's it. I mean, after I walk the dog, then I come back, put him in the house, take my shoes off and go and ground on the earth. And then I say a little ritual of what I want my day to look like, things I'm grateful for, shine a white light over you, the kids, myself, friends and family.
Beautiful.
And do a little bit of my myofascial stretching as well. So the whole thing, if you include the dog walk, is probably half an hour. Mm-hmm. And it just sets my day up.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
In a better way. And I would, and you know, people can do whatever they want. I would just say, if you don't feel great when you wake up, try and experiment. Come up with something that's going to work for you to make you feel a bit better.
Yep.
Okay.
Good tip.
Thanks. Okay. Humming and the vagus nerve. Pass or play?
Well, I'm going to play because everyone knows I bang on about humming. Okay, so for those that might have missed it in my other 50 times I've talked about this, whenever we get dysregulated or even you're just busy and stressed, we shallow breathe. We're breathing from our chest. We're breathing, you know, quite either rapid or just shallow. We're not taking those big diaphragmatic breaths. So one way to get us to breathe properly is to take, you know, put our hand on our belly, breathe right into our hand, and then just hum your exhale. Now, the reason for this is if we were just taking in, you know, a breath and even just extending our exhale, that's going to be helpful because by having the extended exhale, we're dispelling all the buildup of oxygen that we've, you know, gathered, and it lets our body know that we're safe. And it also releases what they call nitric oxide, which will open up all the blood vessels and allow everything to flow again. Because when we're in that fight and flight, it's constricted and all the blood's going to our extremities. So having that longer exhale is going to release the nitric oxide, but if we hum, we release 15 times more nitric oxide. So that's why I'm always humming. So that brings on the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in your whole body, and it lets your body know if you're safe or unsafe. And the reason why this is so helpful is if you think about it, if a big lion was coming towards me, my body wouldn't allow me to have that breath of humming or a longer exhale. You just wouldn't allow it. So the fact that I can do it, it tells my body I'm safe. So that's the quickest, easiest tip that you can do to calm yourself down. Your breath is everything, but humming really, really calms everything down. So hum in the car, you know, hum to songs, but just really
hum when your husband's watching a TV show. I've talked about, but for new listeners, the amount of humming that you hear in this house is insane.
A lot of humming in the bath as well.
Trying to watch a show.
Well,
it's good. I get it. Yeah. Have I ever whinged about it other than on this show?
Well, you know, I try and find places where I can hum and not bother anyone. So putting petrol in your car, you can hum when you're doing that. No one can hear you over the petrol.
Yes.
So yeah, find the places to hum that don't annoy everybody, or just don't worry about annoying everyone and just hum through the TV shows. All right, let's have a look at yours. Daily breathwork reset. Play or pass?
I can play, but it'll be a very quick one. Or I used to have a nap during I work from home.
So we're going to say it's playing.
I'm playing, yeah. I thought I said that, didn't I? Yeah, I think I said play, but it's going to be quick. I used to have lunch and then immediately want to go to sleep. So there was something in my, I don't know, my energy levels obviously might not have been amazing because I wanted to have a nap straight after lunch. I changed this to a 15-minute breath work, and because I had a quick coffee.
Why did you change it?
Because I have a wife who's a breathwork instructor and breathwork pusher.
I'm a breath pusher.
Yes. So I don't drink coffee, and I found once I was doing this 15-minute breath work after I'd eaten lunch, felt like kind of like having a coffee. I would have more energy to work in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. That breath work is, if you want, I'll try and remember to link it in the show notes, but it's Othership. Now you can get the Othership app and use the code word Tracey and you'll get a 30-day free trial. If you don't want to continue the free trial, make sure to turn it off because ours auto renew on it. But it's also, if you just look up Othership nervous system reset on YouTube, I'll link that one as well. That's the one I do. I do it every day. I literally have it memorized.
Yeah, you have the whole app, but you do
I do the free one on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the same one every day. No. Never mix it up. I just find it works for me. I like it. I like the breath holds because it has 2 45-second breath holds. Then it has I think a 60-second and then a 90-second. But on the 90-second one, I push it out to 2 minutes.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that one.
Beautiful.
I recommend it. Okay. You are... Okay. Being intentional. For example, what are you doing with your time on the weekend?
Well, I talked about intention with the first one. I might pass that one just to see what else is there.
Journal prompts.
I think I've talked about this in other things as well, so maybe I'll pass for that one as well.
Okay. Pattern interrupter, e.g. the photo of yourself.
I'm going to talk about this one because I think this one's important. So we all know that I talk so much about us being in our patterns and in our habits. And, you know, I'll say it again for those that might not have heard it. By the time that we're 35, we are doing 90 to 95% in our subconscious brain. We are only 5 to 10%. And I would say 10 is very generous. I would say 5% is where we're conscious to what we're actually doing. The rest is coming from patterns. We're thinking the same things. We're doing the same things. We're behaving in the same ways. So anything that's going to interrupt that is going to be helpful for us. So something that we can do is put a picture of ourselves somewhere on our mirror or somewhere that we can see, you know, regularly, and that's going to stop us from our normal routines of just getting on with our day. And instead, when we see that little photo of ourselves, we might think, oh, what am I doing to look after that little person or speak kindly to that little person? So just creating something that's going to create a pattern that's interrupting another pattern that you might have then missed if you didn't have this thing that was going to, you know, get you to think differently. I often say that a really, really major pattern interrupter is when we fall in love, but obviously that doesn't happen very often. Yep. So, you know, what can we do that's going to just make us think differently, feel differently, so that picture can be really helpful.
Beautiful. Good job.
Okay, now let's see for you. Grounding.
Yeah, I'll play this one because I think it's quick and also very important. So, a couple of years ago, for people who don't know the story, Tracey and I stumbled across this movie on YouTube.
Tracey stumbled
and made me watch it. And I'm glad you did. And it was called The Earthing Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just look up on YouTube, The Earthing Movie. It's about 90 minutes long. It's free, obviously. Now, the concept is we are electrical beings. We have electricity running through our bodies. And the theory is you want to ground that. Now, this is where I get stuck on how to fully explain it, so you can chip in if you want to. Mm-hmm. But the same way that you would ground anything that has electricity running through it, it's going to stabilize it. Mm-hmm. And this is where I stumble. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
But it's good for you, okay?
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
And back in the day, that's what cavemen, you know.
Exactly,
We didn't have shoes. We were always grounding and connected in.
This is where I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Because I don't fully understand the science, but I do understand the theory, which is I would walk around with Crocs on, which are rubber, all the time. And if I didn't have Crocs, I'd have shoes, sneakers, which are also rubber soles. My bare feet would never, ever touch the earth. And
Scott has baby feet.
Yeah.
Baby soft.
Baby soft, never touch the ground. And I could do that for weeks and weeks on end.
Yeah.
And so when I saw this and I saw the benefits that people were doing, and so if you watch the film, and I haven't watched it for a while, which is probably why I did a bad job explaining it, but they do these little experiments.
Yeah.
And you can see the electrical pulse and what's happening when they're doing these experiments. And it can change, you know, within 10 seconds of you touching the earth.
And well, they say it helps with inflammation, don't they?
Yeah, there's all sorts. I should actually watch the film again. I need to remind myself of what all the benefits are.
That's a hard thing, isn't it? You watch all those things and you understand it at the time, but trying to reggate it out
in
a way that makes sense.
Terrible at that
tricky,
stuff.
Yeah.
But just take my word for it if you want to. There's lots of benefits and it's very easy to do. So that's why I started doing it. I do it pretty much every morning. Like I said, walk Lenny, take my shoes off, go and ground. Mm-hmm. And it was more the fact that I realized how rare it was for me to actually have my bare feet on the ground.
And you think about in society how much we judge people with bare feet.
Yeah.
That they don't have shoes on. They look like
I remember our old next door neighbour had a go at me because Ali, our daughter, cut her foot at the park. He's like, why don't you have her having shoes on? Instinctively, I knew it's good for them to be running around in bare feet.
Yeah. But that's how far away we moved from it.
I know. Crazy. Okay. But I highly recommend the film. I know I
Yes.
did a bad job explaining it, but
Yeah.
I highly recommend the film. Okay, where are we up to?
That's why
with
they
you?
need to watch it even more.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can get the science.
Because you got zero information out of me. Okay. Curating a new social media account.
Oh, I'm going to play this
I
one
thought you would.
because you see me.
Yeah, I see the joy that you get from
Yeah.
it.
So when Scott encouraged me to start a business profile for Instagram,
At tracyquayle.therapy.
I then didn't have all my friends on, that account. So I kept it that way. I didn't add any friends or family, and I just started adding things that, interested me. So wellness pages. My dad was really into otters for a while, so he got me into otters. So I was seeing lots of otter reels, which are very cute, by the way. I highly recommend them. But I was just finding that when I was wanting to peruse, which we all do as soon as someone goes to the toilet when we're at dinner with them, we grab our phones and we scroll, or we've got a moment before bed, we scroll. We do all these things where we're just scrolling and looking at everyone else's lives, and it doesn't always make us feel very good. So I was intentionally looking at things that just brought me joy. So the otters, I mean, the amount of times I would have shown you an otter video or pass them on to my friends. I even put them on my stories for a while there.
And they are cute. I will say
They just made my heart happy. So at the moment, I follow an account called Dodo, and it's all about rescued animals and how they get fostered and what they're like at the end of it and stuff. So when I watch these little stories, and they could be as quick as a minute or a couple of minutes, but I just get this beautiful feeling in my heart, and so that changes my chemistry. So if I'm going to scroll, I'm scrolling with positive things, or I'm scrolling with wellness things.
That was the thing, because people could just have otters on their normal feed. Like, you should talk about the wellness stuff as well. Just quickly.
So with the wellness stuff, it was just people that I resonated with what they were saying. And so I was getting little tips and information. So one of the examples of that was I follow a lady called Dr. Barbara O'Neill. Actually, no, people steal her stuff and put it on their pages, but I get her information. I really like it. And one of the things that she said was if someone has a cough, to cut up an onion, so a red onion, and then cover it with honey. And you make your own cough syrup. And so I did that. And when I saw that worked for our middle daughter, I was like, that's amazing. But I only got that from, that positive Instagram.
So your main tip is it's very easy to set up a separate Instagram account.
Yeah, and just have it curated for only the things that bring you joy, make you feel good, or are wellness related if that's what you're into.
Without your friends.
Without the friends and without the comparisons. But also I would say sometimes people follow influencers, and because that person's got a hot body, they can feel less than by looking at that. So they might be inspired that the clothes they're wearing is nice, but if they're feeling like this person's got this amazing life and I don't have that, that's not leaving them with a very good feeling.
Yep.
So only follow the things that make you feel like you can add those nice tips into your life, or like what I've said about the animal videos, that brings you joy. If you're into fishing, that could be a fishing page.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep. Beautiful.
But yeah, just create something that you've got that opportunity to scroll, but it's in a more healthy way.
Yes. Perfect. If you want to laugh, you could look up Therapist's Husband.
Oh, yes, you can
new
definitely.
account that I finally started.
Yeah, definitely follow that one.
At least 2 people asked me to start that account now. And
So he has 2 followers. No, he doesn't.
Up to about 10. So I could do with a few follows if you're interested.
You're very funny, so I think people will take to that.
Thank you.
The next one for you, are you going to play or pass myofascial movement?
I'm going to pass because we did an entire episode on that.
That's true. That's true. So that's
Give me
next
another
one.
one. Yep.
Pocketfuls of happiness is kind of what we're doing
that's
right now.
what we're doing now. But I will play because I can quickly explain it, because it is what we're doing, but it's a tiny bit different. So the theory of pocketfuls of happiness is you're not going to feel happy for the full 24-hour period of a day. In fact, you'd be lucky to do a fraction of that. What I do is when something pleasant happens, and that might be a cuddle from your child, it might be...
Or your wife. Like he's sitting across from his wife and he uses the children.
It might be a duck crossing the road. I'm a bit obsessed with them, and they're not all bird related, but I like black cockatoo. So if I ever see a black cockatoo or a bunch of them flying over, anything that just makes you smile, like
Or be present.
Be present to it. Don't let it just pass you by. Like, take note of, this is a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And if you can string a few of those throughout the day, all of a sudden you've had a good day.
Yeah.
So it's just finding little pocketfuls of happiness in anything.
And do you know what? I'll add on to that. You could find what your thing is. So for me, people that follow me know that I love clouds. So if there's an interesting sky, that will always get my attention.
Yep. Good. All right. Where are we up to for you is, okay, full moon reset, setting intentions.
Actually, I won't play that one because you're actually supposed to release on a full moon.
Oh, okay.
And you're supposed to set intentions on a new moon. So I'll pass for that one.
I think you might play the next one. It's nostalgic music.
Okay. Yes, I am going to play that.
I thought so.
So with this one, I'm always wanting people to go back to their younger self and be really nurturing and, be really loving and kind. So a way that you can really bring that, a bit more into your awareness can be play music that reminds you of that time. So it could be that you have a shower and you just, put a playlist together of 3 songs that reminded you of high school or primary school, or there was an artist that you followed, back then. Whenever I listen to Savage Garden, it takes me right back to, my teenage years. Roxette would probably be in there as well.
Yep.
So anytime I listen to those things, it takes me right back to that little Tracey, and I want to love on her and nurture her. Or even sometimes when I think about like maybe a Savage Garden song, I can remember driving in a car, maybe crying or being upset about whatever it is. And I'll think of that when I listen to that song now and think, gosh, isn't it crazy how far you come and how things change, that at the time listening to that music, it might have felt like the end of the world or a big moment. And then now, it's insignificant. So I think just listening to nostalgic music can really bring you back to times and places, and you can do that in a really nurturing way. Over to you. Are you going to play or pass ice bath?
Pass, because I've talked about that a lot. But one thing I will quickly say is if you have a teenager, get an ice bath. It's a great way to bond.
And I'll also say that even on our last retreat a few weeks ago, we weren't sure how that was going to go, but everyone went in the water and 2 people got ice baths after that one. So it still blows my mind that.
Okay, well, I guess technically this is play then. So, yeah, look, you can look up the benefits. There's a ton of benefits. It's the biggest one, and this is what happened on the retreat. So for anyone who has listened to the show before, you know that part of our individual Reconnect Self retreat is jumping in the pool, and it's always freezing. And my guess is it's about 10 degrees. No one wants to do it. Everyone always comes out exhilarated, and that is the biggest benefit for me personally. There's lots of physical benefits, but the mental benefit of overcoming the challenge of jumping in a freezing pool or an ice bath makes you feel good, but the adrenaline and the endorphins that it releases when you get out is phenomenal. And yeah, I think every single retreat now, somebody has purchased an ice bath, and the last 2 retreats, 2 people have got home and immediately purchased an ice bath. So,
but the other people would still go in cold pools and cold baths.
And the ocean. And
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you did play.
I did. Okay. Centering yourself and cleansing the space. For example, before you walk into work or back into the house.
I'm going to play because I feel like people's energy is really important.
Okay.
So my tip here is, A, pay attention to how you're feeling. So know if you're feeling dysregulated, know if you're feeling stressed, anxious, whatever it may be. And if you need to do a simple scaling system of kind of going 10, I'm feeling great and energized and happy, 0 to 1 feeling, dysregulated, not great, sort of scale where you're at, and then go, what can I do to calm that down or to come back to my center? You don't want to be coming off a terrible phone call, in the car when you're driving home from work, and then coming into the house and bringing all that energy, into your family.
Yep.
So maybe it's, staying in your car for a bit longer, doing a couple of minutes worth of breath work, or just, focusing on your breath. It could be calling someone else and having a different chat to change your energy. It could just be going for a little walk before walking in the house. But it's just really being aware of what energy am I bringing into a space. When it was saying about clearing or smudging, That's really important for me, both on the retreats or when I'm doing a breathwork journey, is to clear the energy that's in the room, to make sure that I'm showing up clear and aligned, because again, I can't hold space for people, if I'm not centered. So as much as I'm doing that, in a work capacity for a group, even if you work in an office, your energy affects people around you. We've got a biofield around us that they've measured by science. Our energy impacts. So just recognizing where you're at and what you need before you walk into a space and how you're going to impact others, really important.
Next one.
Bread, slow cooking, and kombucha.
Pass.
Okay. Work farm.
Work farm. Worm farm. Sorry, that must be a typo.
I was thinking, what is that?
I'll play because this does bring me a lot of joy. So a few years ago, I purchased a worm farm from Bunnings. I think you can get it for like $100 or something. And I like again, connecting to nature. So essentially, we put all of our food scraps in a little compost bin that we keep under the kitchen sink. And then once a week, I take it out to the worms and I feed them. And then they obviously recycle that. And then I can take their droppings and also the liquid and feed my plants. And I like the whole
that's nice.
Circular motion part. I think that it somehow in my brain is making me feel like a hunter-gatherer, kind of reconnecting with that part of yourself. So I like it.
Beautiful. Do you know, on that, again, one of the tips I've seen somewhere on my Instagram pages is if you get bananas and you put it in, a jar with some filtered water, then it releases, all the good vitamins, potassium and things, and you can water your plants with that.
Yeah. You still do that, don't you?
I haven't for a little while because we haven't really had any bananas, but I have done it a few times. Yeah. And it makes me feel good. Same way that you like watering the plants with that, those droppings and that liquid. I like it when I've given.
And I like my little worms. Like if a worm falls out of that thing, I pick all of the worms up and put them back. Like I like them.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Conversation starters.
I'm going to play because again, with energy, I think we're so stale with our conversations. We recycle everything the same way. How's Jane? How's Sarah? How's John? So boring. So my tip for everybody is go on Pinterest and just find some conversation starters and just screenshot them. There's definitely apps out there that have conversation starters. Yep. We give our couples and our retreats a pack of cards that's a conversation starters that can live in the car or in your handbag. But just having some screenshots on your phone, can be really helpful. Like we've gone out before, we've gone to a lobby of a bar and pulled out the conversation starters and had different conversations. Because in the very beginning of a relationship, you're talking about everything and anything. You're talking about your history, your opinions, your lifestyle, your dreams. You're having these really lovely, enriching conversations. And then the more that we go through life and, we're very familiar with those people, we feel like I know it all. I've talked to you about that before. And we're not doing, anything different in our conversations. There's no fresh energy coming in. So that's a way to mix it up, to, have insights that you wouldn't have gotten before. And it's so simple.
Yep. Yeah. Good one.
And actually, kids love it too. Like when we go to there's a cafe in WA called Dome, and on the back of their kids menu, they have conversation starter cards. Tommy always asks to do them.
Yes. Yeah. All our kids him especially.
He always points
eldest.
It out. Yeah. Which surprises me because he's a nearly 16-year-old. So, but mix it up with your partner, your friends. I've been out before with friends where, I don't think he listens, but if he does, he'll know it's him. Talks about rugby all the time.
He doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen. Maybe his wife will, maybe not. But anyway, I remember one time being out in a cafe and grabbing my phone out and saying, we're doing conversation starter cards because otherwise you're hearing the same thing from your friends over and over. And look, he's very passionate about it, so I'm happy to hear a bit of it, but I couldn't do a whole lunch.
No, I agree.
Okay. What have you got? Rest without feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Even when it's inconvenient.
I'll play this one because it was just a little saying that I heard, which I thought really summed up self-care and especially relevant to me. So the tiny little background that I'll give is I was never particularly kind to myself, and if I would very rarely have a sick day, even when I worked for someone else. When I worked for myself, never have a sick day.
Never.
And I would just push through. That was my philosophy, is just push through. And, I think that is good in some regard, but also not great from a self-care point of view. And rest is super important. And I heard this from someone, I can't remember, so I can't credit it, but it wasn't me. It was rest even when it's inconvenient to do so. And basically, work is a great example of that. So let's say you just feel terrible and you need a day in bed, but you've got something urgent to do. If you choose yourself and choose to rest in that period, it's very inconvenient because you're going to have to figure out, what am I going to do about that urgent thing that I needed to do? But you're choosing yourself. So I just thought it was quite an apt little saying that I wanted to share with people that day.
Okay.
Does it make sense? I do an okay job explaining it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Yours is gratitude and contrast, for example, hot water or...
Yep,
whatever.
I'm definitely going to do this one. I'm going to play it. So often we only have gratitude and appreciation when we've experienced something in contrast. So an example of that is, if you've ever had your hot water turn off for whatever reason and you suddenly got cold showers, although we were talking about cold immersions a minute ago, you might enjoy it for that. But when the hot water comes back on, you're so grateful for that hot water. Or if your power's ever gone off, or we had our water turn off one day and we had, I went to cut onions and I couldn't even cut onions because I thought, I can't wash my hands afterwards. Yep. So all of a sudden I stopped and was like, wow, we should be really grateful for running water. And it's so basic.
So many things.
Everything. The fact that I can walk into a room and turn a light switch on. We all come from ancestors that had very primitive,
and it wasn't even that long ago
not at
in
all.
history.
Yeah.
Like, we are living in a time that is ridiculously convenient, and we have such amazing lives. And I heard something from, I know I'm taking this over, so sorry, I'll just quickly say this and then shut up. Basically, the theory is we live like the kings of...
Another time.
Another time.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah, we do. The abundance of food, we can go to our shops and things are prepared for us. We can go into our cupboards and our pantries and there's food ready to eat.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Jetsons, the cartoon, back when I was a kid, and they had all these things that's kind of what we have now.
Yeah.
Maybe not the flying cars just yet, but everything else. Get food delivered to the door, don't have to make it. So my tip is, just be grateful for what we actually have, but start noticing it. Think about
noticing.
So thinking about the opposite. Like we had some fires here in Perth. it was last year, and they came pretty close to our house. And so I remember when we came back into our house after escaping like within a couple of hundred meters from our house, and being so grateful that our house was standing and it wasn't smoke damaged. And I would have walked into that house the week before, not thought anything about our house. So just having that gratitude, and thinking about, gosh, I'm so lucky I'm not out in the street, or I'm not, I've got shelter. I've got a washing machine that makes me not have to scrub my clothes.
Yeah.
I remember watching my mum have a twin tub, and she would move clothes from one to the next. It looked like a lot of hard work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think just notice things and have that appreciation of what we actually have. Like, value it now. Yep. Don't value it when it's taken away.
And your number one thing for that would be your health. So if you have good health, then
be grateful for that.
Be super grateful.
Yep. Okay, yours. Are you going to play or pass tuning into nature?
Pass, because I sort of touched on that already.
Yeah, your example was birds anyway, so that's...
I was repeating. I was already recycling in the 30-day challenge.
Yeah, you were. Sleep routine?
What do you think? Should I pass?
It's your game.
Pass.
I said pass. Like you.
That's what Siri does that to me sometimes. She copies me. That's not how you usually say it, Siri.
Yeah. Letting go. Failing in public, e.g.
Yes, I'll play this one. Okay. And I might have touched on this one before, but I think the reason I posted this video on the 30-day challenge is that we had posted that we were going to do a nature walk. Mm-hmm. And it was clear that we weren't going to get a ton of people coming. And I think that was the night when we said, and because the weather wasn't going to be very good.
Yeah, the weather wasn't great, yeah.
And we both said, I don't think I don't think a lot of people are coming tomorrow. And we both looked at each other and said, I don't care.
Yeah.
So the theory behind that is I don't care if I look like an idiot in public or get embarrassed or whatever, because everyone fails at whatever. And it's the thing that got me past this is that nobody thinks about you as much as you think they are.
Yeah.
They're barely thinking about you.
Well,
so
people are egocentric, so they're thinking about themselves.
Thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
So why are you worrying about what other people think when clearly they're not thinking about you?
Yeah.
And if they are and they're judging you, then fuck them.
They're not your people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure if you'll play it or not. Build connection by being vulnerable. Do you remember that one?
I'm just trying to think what I said about that one. I can talk about it, but I know, is there loads more on that list?
Yeah, there's quite a few more.
Okay.
I think you're essentially saying that it's the best way to build connection.
It is that. It is that. It's the more that you do open up, then people aren't judging you from what they can see or, ascertain, like they're getting it directly from you. And if you don't give it to them, they'll just judge what they can take from you. So, if you can open up a bit, if you can share bits, then people can, grab that and run with that. Whereas if you're not really sharing anything, if you're not really opening up in any way, then it's harder to build connection.
Yeah.
So I guess I did play.
Yeah. It was a quick play, quick fire.
It was a quick fire one. That's pretty good. Okay, yours is showing up, taking pressure off, being productive.
Okay, I remember that one. That is undoubtedly would have been a Monday. I quite often am a little bit uninspired on a Monday and don't have that get up and go and, I'm going to take on the day and blah, blah, blah. So one of the little things that I put into practice is I still show up. So, and I try and take pressure off myself by giving myself a couple of easy wins, easy things to do. So it might be take the video files off that SD card and upload them onto the computer.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, we'll figure out what the next thing is that you're going to do. And naturally, I end up doing that, and then I'll do the next simple thing, which might be, okay, let's copy and paste them into Premiere Pro, which is an editing software. Okay, we've done that. Okay, let's do the next little bit. And I just break it down into bite-sized little chunks.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I've probably been sitting there for 90 minutes or 2 hours. That initial doom and gloom of, what's happening in the world is gone.
Yep.
And I can crack on with my day. But I'm a lot less, put a lot less pressure on myself these days to be productive. It's like, do what you can do.
I think that would also apply to the days that you can't be bothered going to the gym, but you just think, just go.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter what you do, even if it's less than what you would normally work out like just you being there is consistency and routine. So even those are a good, good example.
Yeah. Good. This one, learn new things. And the example you gave is Gaia, watching something on Gaia.
Yeah. Do I want to do that one?
You've got heaps left, so... actually, you've got about 10 left. So you have some wiggle room.
I feel like I'm flying blind because I can't remember what one's.
So we'll skip it then. Pass.
No, I mean flying blind what's underneath the other 10. The other 10. So am I passing one that I'd want to play? I'll pass it just to see what else is there.
Mix up your routine to freshen things up.
No, I'm going to play that one because that's important, and that's what I need to do. So that's why I created the challenge in the first place, was the fact that my summer routine can't continue in the winter. I just can't do those beach walks in the winter at the same time. It's too cold, it's too dark, it's too boggy. So it's not enjoyable. It's like walking on a stepper, like when you're going to the beach when it's really boggy. It's exhausting. So not the same lovely feeling that I get in the summer. So people often think that, if they're not doing the same thing every day, then they don't have a morning routine. But if you're just doing stuff in that morning that brings you joy, it doesn't have to be the same thing every day.
Yeah.
So it could just be figuring out on a certain day what would the morning routine look like, or in the afternoon, if you wanted to do something in the afternoon. But just trying to freshen that up. It could be, can I be really intentional with how I make my cup of tea or my coffee? Can I go outside and have my, coffee outside where I've got the sun in my eyes? And then on a different day, you might do something completely different. But it's just adding in things that are different to make it a bit more interesting, doesn't feel so stale. It might work with the seasons, which is actually what we should be doing.
Yep.
So I just think try and mix things up. Try to just not have it be the same all the time, because that can get boring. If you really love it, great, keep it that way. But, if you're struggling to even have a routine, just try and have loads of options. You could have a whole list of 20 things that you could do in a morning and just choose 3. Yep. Like I passed on the journal prompts, but you could, answer 3 questions of your journal prompts. That could be part of your morning routine. So
mix. For people who don't know what journal prompts are, like that's one of the things we do on the retreat, and you've got 100 or something prompt, like little questions to answer.
Yeah, and we talk about that when we do the lift, shift, clear and align episode.
Yep.
Talk about journal prompts.
That was a few episodes ago. So maybe 24 if I was guessing. Yep.
Yeah. So just mix it up, add different things in that keep it a bit fresh and a bit more interesting and appealing.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, okay. You have to do mine.
Yes.
How many have I got left? Have I got room to pass? Or?
All right. You've got, you've got 4 left.
Okay.
Okay. DJing and other hobbies.
I'll play because I think this is a good one in particular for males, but I guess it applies to anybody. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that I have a few hobbies, things that I can do just for me that give myself a little bit of quiet time, even though, DJing is playing loud music. It's a time for me to just be by myself and do something that I love.
And it's creative for you.
Yeah, it's really creative. But I also have other things. So I had a huge phase of my life where I was into poker.
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I had a podcast about poker. And that was before podcasts were even a thing.
That's so true. How many years ago was that?
It was 2015, so it was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're an old-time podcaster.
Yeah, and we did pretty well. Yeah, there was 3 of us did it. It was good.
This seems more sophisticated.
This one's a bit better. So I used to play poker on a couple of weeknights online, and my friend from next door, he would come over on a weekend and we would play online together. We would go to the casino sometimes, and I would have long conversations with him about poker. And it was great. Did
that come off the back of I gifted you some poker lessons with a person that was international?
Yes.
Did he end up doing the podcast with you?
Yeah, he was the main guy.
How funny.
Yeah. So Tracey bought me the gift of poker lessons. I got chatting to the coach. He was writing a book. I agreed to edit his book. And in return, he would give me a cut of the book sales. Mm-hmm. And I said, to promote the book, why don't we create a podcast? And we did. And I did about 20 episodes, and then online poker got banned in Australia.
Oh, that's right.
I quit the show, and they went on to do, I think they got close to 100. They might have done 100 episodes.
I like how you tricked him into it as well. You can promote the book by doing the podcast. That's what you told me. You don't have to do any social media if you do a podcast.
Seems to be my MO.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I do these days, because I'm not as big into poker, is Fantasy Premier League, which is the soccer. And I listen to podcasts about it. Mm-hmm. I chat to my friends about it on WhatsApp.
You talk to Tommy about it too.
I talk to Tommy about it now because he's into it. And again, there's a lot of strategy involved, and I like that, it's something that you can apply your thinking, critical thinking to, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I just think if you don't have a hobby, find one.
Yeah.
Because they're so, and I think you'd be surprised how many people don't have hobbies.
Yeah, and it's just really experimenting, just seeing what you're drawn to. Like you could have a list of 20 things and just go and try, and you might be really surprised at what you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Declutter in a time frame. So this is the one where you're talking about what can you do in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to play this one because actually I think I got this one off a client. My clients give me so many good tips and information. And so I think one of my clients was talking about how she gets overwhelmed with her house, but if she just sets a timer for sort of 5 minutes, she'll just do as much as she can in the 5 minutes, maybe to put things away or tidy something up. But it just makes it a bit more contained and a bit more manageable. So kind of like you with your showing up, just being there and doing that little task might spur on to be 10 minutes then.
Yep.
I've actually noticed I'm always using the microwave for heating up my heat pack. And because it usually takes 2 minutes, I'm always surprised at how long 2 minutes is when I'm just standing there.
Yeah.
But I can get so much done if I actually do a task in that time. And I realise, gosh, I would have just been having that as dead time, waiting for this microwave, listening to the kids whinge about how it interferes with their Wi-Fi.
That's one of the banes of our existence at the moment, but yes.
Yes. So just time-limited cleaning. Set a timer or pick up something, for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. But just put that time frame around it so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. It's a bit more manageable. And you'd be surprised at how much you can get done.
Beautiful. All right.
Okay. Down to your last few. You've got doing something during kids' training.
Yeah, I'll play it just because I think it's an easy one, and I don't think a lot of people do this based on how many people sit in the car park. So I take our daughter, I coach our son in soccer, so I'm busy when he's training because I'm training. But with our daughter, she plays footy, and training is 1 hour, and I would say 90% of the parents sit in the parking lot and scroll on their phones, like literally sit in their car. They're not even getting out of the car. I would see that as an easy option to either, one of the things I would do when the weather is nicer is I could stay at the footy ground, take my shoes off and walk around on the earth.
Well, that's what I would do. I was doing it with one of the other mums. We would walk around,
And then I realised how close it was to the beach. It's literally a 5-minute drive to the beach.
Yeah.
So during the hour, I could get, a 40-minute beach walk in.
Yep.
I just think it's really...
And again, it would have been that dead time.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, that
same thing.
useless time, yeah.
Yeah. So do that. Your next one is, and you have plenty of room to pass if you want to pass, is Sunday ritual, getting organised for the week.
I'll pass it just because it almost feels like it says it in the title.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Not sure how you turned that into a 2-minute video. Okay, not letting others impact you. And the example you gave is our neighbour when you got snubbed.
Okay, I will play this because people do get impacted by people a lot. So what I was thinking about when I was giving this this tip to the group was around sometimes people's energy, whether that's where they're interacting with us or they're, in our space, in a workplace or whatever, but we can be really bothered by our interpretation of what's just happened.
Yep.
So for us, especially in summertime, we would sit out the front and we would always comment on the fact that she'd drive past and never wave and glance. But we're also then, if we were letting that make us feel bad, if we were going, oh, she's ignoring us or she's this or she's that, we're making an assumption or a story that might not even be happening. So rather than doing that and making yourself feel not so great, I always try and make it that if anyone's going to impact me, it's going to be in a way that's not going to be in a negative way. So I look at that neighbour and I think maybe she's not that happy in her life,
Yeah, we want the best for her.
We have compassion for
close at one point in our lives, and we just want her to be happy.
Yeah, so we can have compassion for her, which softens the feelings that we have, and we don't then worry about that judgment because we think, well, a happy person would wave or make eye contact and blah, blah, blah. So we just have that compassion rather than thinking, oh, what a cow, what a bitch, whatever. Like we don't have that judgment. We just have more of a softer, gentler one. And so if you're at the shops and someone's rude, again, come from that compassionate place of something might be going on for them, in their world. Or if the worst case scenario is they're an asshole, I have compassion that you're an asshole. Like I have compassion that what must your interactions and relationships be like?
Yeah.
Like you're going to really struggle.
Yeah.
So my tip is have compassion for people. Try not to take on their energy and their judgments. You don't know what's going on for them. So if you can come from that more compassionate, gentle place, it'll be helpful and nicer for you.
Yeah. Good one. It's my turn, isn't it? Your turn to give one to me. Yep.
Celebrate birthdays and creating traditions.
I'm going to pass.
Well, your last one.
We've talked about that one before.
Your last one then is enjoy the journey.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll definitely play. It's my last one. I think it's a good one, though.
Imagine that pass.
That would have been funny. The thing I like about this is... everyone's heard this saying, focus on enjoy the journey. It's not about the destination. That's the saying. When you dig into that, and the best way I can describe it is just this podcast, right? So I could feel bad that we don't have more listeners or that it's not being seen by more people, and just go down that whole rabbit hole because I want to get to a certain number, whatever that number is. Yeah, that number is going to make me happy. But the happiness comes in the doing and the journey. And, this has been quite a fun, one of the more fun shows that we've done. I've enjoyed it. I said to you before we started recording, I still like doing this.
Yeah.
So it's the best example I can give is focus on what's bringing you joy in the process. It's not about a final destination, because I'm betting that when you get to that destination, you're just going to invent another destination you want to get to anyway.
I agree. And you know what? I was just thinking, what popped into my head when you were saying that was, imagine if someone's an artist, in terms of like a recording artist or a singer or whatever, when they're on the rise to fame, that is going to feel like a slog, and it is going to feel, hard work. But I think once they get there and they get the first hit single or hit album, that pressure to then go, what's next? I've heard loads of like interviews and things about that, and it's actually the journey that, where they were getting more followers or getting that first single out or whatever it is, that was so exciting that once they're there at that successful point, that's not actually as enjoyable as what it was when they were growing it.
I felt that way, and this is going to sound silly, but with my DJ channel, DJ Scotty Q on YouTube, I had another quite popular video pop off 2 weeks ago. And I was getting a lot of followers on the back of this video. And it's not, the video is, people might like it actually, because it's all about, it's melodic house music, but it's sort of low tempo, the sort of thing you can put your headphones on. You like it. You put your headphones on and close your eyes. And then I overlay these spiritual quotes or inspirational quotes. So people like Alan Watts. Who else did I use? Well, there's one from Oprah.
Did you do Brene
Brown? Michael Beckwith. He's like a famous reverend, spiritual guru guy. So anyway, this thing got thousands and thousands of views. I was getting all of these followers. And for a fraction, I didn't let it bother me for long, but I was like, oh no, all these new people are going to want me to keep doing that same thing over and over. And whilst it's one of the things I want to do, it's not the only thing I want to do on that channel. Yeah. And so that made me think, it's quite nice not having, because I still only have like 1,500 followers or something. It's not tens of thousands. It's quite nice not having the pressure of what 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 people might be like.
Yeah.
And I guess the same could be said for this podcast,
Absolutely.
We might look back on these days and go, oh, I remember how quaint that was and how nice it was. Yeah. So enjoy the journey. All right. Since I've run out.
Oh, that's even with weight loss, you enjoy the journey of fitting into the clothes and feeling good in your own skin.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not just about, you finally got to the actual goal weight. You've enjoyed that journey the whole way through, going, I'm enjoying the energy I'm getting and the feeling proud of myself, all of those things. Yep.
Absolutely. Where are you up to? Self-care, putting your robe in the dryer.
That's a little micro moment. All right. I might pass for that and I'll go for the next one.
Yeah. List. Making a list. What do I do when I'm feeling good?
Oh, I like this one. I'm going to play it. So this is a tip that I often give to clients, is to really think about when you're in a good. Did you hear that big sigh?
That was the dog.
That was Lenny. When you're feeling really good, there's certain things that you'll be doing that are keeping you in that momentum and in that space and in that energy. And we often, when we're in it, we're feeling so good, but we don't think to capture what are the things that are actually making a difference in what I'm doing. So I'll say to people, and this can be done for relationships too. So it could be, if you're thinking about when we're in a really good spot in our relationship, what are the things we're actually doing? And then when I'm thinking about me and my own wellness, what am I doing for myself when I'm in a really good spot? So some examples of that might be, I'm going to bed at the same time. I've got a good sleep routine. I am making plans for myself that I'm excited about. I'm moving my body every day. I'm drinking enough water. You know, like you're looking at all the lovely things you're doing. My self-talk is good. What else can we have? Just anything that you're doing that's, you know, really helpful for you around that time. A meal planning or meal prepping. And then flip it over onto the other side and then write all the things down that you do that you're not so happy with. You know, so, going to bed too late, sleeping in the morning, having too much junk food.
Drinking too much.
Not making any plans, withdrawing socially. You know, you're just looking at all those things that you do that aren't so helpful. And that way, if you're ever sort of moving through your day or your week and you're feeling like, I feel a bit meh, grab that sheet out and you look at the healthy side and you go, oh my gosh, I've stopped doing that, and that. And that's your cheat sheet straight away to know what to get back onto. Flip it over and realize, oh gosh, I've gone back to doing that, and that. So it's your little quick cheat sheet to get you back on track. And if it was for relationships, it would be, the positives could be, we're having date nights, we're, you know, hugging when we first get home, we're going to bed at the same time, we're communicating about what the kids need as well as having conversation, you know, interesting conversations. They're all the great things you're doing. And then you flip it over. What are the things when you're not doing so well? We're not resolving conflict. We're not planning things together. We're ships in the night. You would really see all the things that are causing that disconnect. So it's just a really quick, easy way to pull yourself up and change those behaviours.
Well explained. All right, let's do a little hit list. You can choose one more. All right, you ready? I'll just read all of them out. You pick the one you like the best.
Okay.
Alternative nostril breathing.
Oh, yes, balanced breath.
Setting a timer for hammock time.
Yes.
The lens you view life through, in brackets, gratefulness. A self check-in where you rank yourself from 1 to 10. Rituals and ceremonies, for example, a special brand of tea. Or word for the month. A few good ones in there.
Okay, I think I had one, but I've forgotten it. Quickly tell me again.
I'll go backwards. Word for the month, rituals, self check-in, the lens, to hammock time.
Hammock time. I'm going to do 2. Because I'll be really fast with the hammock time.
All right, go.
Okay, so I love my hammock. And I could be in there for hours and hours and hours. But sometimes when I'm in there, I'll be thinking, I should put the washing on. I should start dinner. I should, and it's all these shoulds.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's the hammock, but for someone else, it could be when they're watching telly or they're scrolling or they're, you know, doing something else that they enjoy. So I would say give yourself permission to have whatever time frame that is and maybe set a timer. So that the reason I set a timer is that way you don't have to think about it. Like if I'm going to do a meditation in the hammock or, you know, just drift off with some music, I'm not constantly checking my phone to be like, how long's that been? Is that going to burn? Is that washing finished? Or whatever the thing might be that is my next task.
Yep.
It's giving that permission to go, you can switch off right now. I find that lots of times when I'm at home, on the days I'm not in the office, there's so many things that I'm always like, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. So even like a lunch break won't end up being a lunch break. I'll be replying to emails at the same time. So I think carve out a time where you go, I'm going to allow myself that space and give it to yourself. So the same way that if you were in the office and you left to go for a walk or to go to a cafe to get your food, you're not working, you've taken that time for yourself. So, you know, be intentional in other ways as well.
Beautiful.
Okay. So that was a hammock time. And the other one was around rituals because it's about creating special moments just out of nothing.
Yep.
You know, so if you're adding something into a morning routine, your ritual could be making your tea in a certain way. In fact, one of my clients literally the other day, I was talking about this with her and she said, I always do that. She goes, and I've never heard this before, bless her. She goes, I like to have the lighting a certain way. I get everything really set up. She said, I always do it in a really ritualistic way. And so obviously I was very happy with her for doing that because it's so mindful and it's showing yourself that you're important. But that ritual or routine could be how you take off your makeup or how you do your skincare or, you know, where you sit to have your cup of tea or coffee. You might, you know, set up a certain space and you always face a certain way or you do a certain thing. Like just what can you do that's very intentional that shows you that you matter and that you're important. You know, we have lots of those things, you know, in culture or in religions, but you can cultivate any of those things for yourself.
I remember Oprah said this on her podcast once, that it's a beautiful form of mindfulness because mindfulness is just being present.
Yeah.
And she was saying, you know, when she's stirring a cup of coffee, that if you can just focus on that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just stirring
Yeah.
a cup of coffee and not allow yourself to drift off and think about
the other
or worry
things.
about
Yeah.
all these other things that are happening in your life. Just be present to that moment where you're pouring the water or you're stirring or you're putting the milk, whatever it is.
And you can also have that gratitude too. You can go, I'm so grateful for the people that picked these beans,
Yeah.
that processed this, that made it so easy for me to, get to this point where I'm having a coffee at home. I'm grateful for the water that's coming out of the tap that I didn't have to go to a well. It's all of those things that make that be a really mindful, practice, and it's very, very healthy and helpful for us.
Very good. So in summary, because I think one of the bits of feedback we got about the 30-day self-care challenge is people started to understand, self-care is just adding all of these little 1%ers together.
Yeah.
Just doing all these little things.
And they don't have to be things that are huge or time consuming. I remember we were talking on, because the group chat would, kind of spark off. And I remember someone saying something about, I didn't realize you could meditate to that kind of music.
Yes.
Because even with your spiritual mix, like you've got some deep house in there, so it's not your traditional, kind of stuff.
A bit of a beat to it.
Yeah. And yet I commonly meditate to your music. And there was someone else that was talking about that in the group challenge, and someone else was really surprised by that. And so it's just whatever works for you. And it's just creating those little moments. So the same way that, if you think about how people care for their kids and you create little moments of making sure that, you hug them when you pick them up, or you ask about their day, or you might bring them a little treat or whatever it might be, you're doing all those things for other people. We have to do these things for ourselves.
Yeah. Great summary. Well done. All right. Well, that was quite fun.
Yeah. And lots of tips there for everyone to go back through and try some different things for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. When's this one coming out? Not sure, but we should mention the retreat. It'll be before the 2 retreats. So the first one, the Reconnect to Self retreat, is October 17 to 19.
Yeah.
So depending on when this comes out, there may or may not be spaces left, but definitely inquire. You jump on the website, traceyquayle.com.
And we'll have more next year.
Yeah, but there's a gap. There's
a big gap, yeah.
So this upcoming one's October, and then the next one is not until May 2026.
That's right.
So if you've been on the fence and thinking about wanting to come on one, this is your last chance for quite a while.
And we're playing around with the idea of maybe hosting one in Bali. So if that's something that interests you, maybe just give me a shout out or send a DM or whatever if that's something that you think you might be interested in, because that might push us over the line and might bite the bullet and actually book that in.
Yep. And then your relationship retreat with Tina
is in November.
Your co-founder is in November.
Yes.
So details for that is traceyquayle.com.
Yep.
And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at traceyquayle.therapy. And we share lots of tips and clips from this show. So if you don't get to see the whole show, you can find some clips on Instagram or TikTok or
And you can follow
Facebook.
The Therapist's Husband.
Yeah. That's my little comedy account
Yes.
where I play this character who is married to a therapist. So if you fancy a chuckle, I think at the moment it's at Therapist's Husband, but that does look like at the Rapist's Husband. So I might see if I can change the handle.
Probably not the same kind of vibe you're going for.
Yeah. So I might add some underscores in there or something to change that up.
Break that up, yep.
Yep. Okay. Great job.
You too.
Thank you to everyone for your feedback about the show. It means a lot. And make sure you tell your friends.
And yes, thank you for those that do share and have been sharing. We really, really appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, take care.
See ya.
Bye.